This year in August, you also sign up with Hoka. Tell us more about that. Were you really looking forward to get such a big sponsor, actually becoming a pro runner now? Um, Tell us your feelings and if it is, if you're living your dream right now.
Hmm. Yes, I would say it's even kind of beyond a dream. Growing up, I always ran, but being a pro runner was never on the radar. Like a lot of people dream of, one day being able to do it as a full profession and wanting to work towards that, or maybe not even work towards that, but just like kind of daydreaming about whether it's being a runner or like a basketball player or something, like the lifestyle and the grandeur of it is always pretty captivating. And I guess I never really allowed myself to dream that hard or that far. I think growing up, and in the social environments I was in, it was much more realistic, but also much more, I guess, prestigious to just get a good, like 9 to 5 day job, office job, like where you're, moving up the corporate ladder and working in finance or working as an engineer or something like that. Like that was almost like the pinnacle of a dream, and making a ton of money and having a great house with a family that you could support. So I think the idea of being a professional athlete, um, there weren't a lot of people in my community doing that kind of thing, and it didn't really seem like my path at all, or even a path I could follow. So yeah, to even just step back and think that I am a professional runner for Hoka now is is insane. Honestly, it's ridiculous to think about, and I'm really grateful for the opportunity, and I need to like stop and remind myself that often. The other day, I was just running on a trail, and I was running up a mountain here in the Eastern Sierra. It was kind of a trail that a lot of people do, but it's a big journey for a lot of people. They come from the city to go climb this peak, and I was just, running up and down it, and someone I think from India came in. He was out hiking this trail with like a big group, and he just stops and goes, "Are you a professional athlete?" And I had to like stop and think about it for a second, and I was like, "Yeah, I am actually." And he's like, "Oh, okay." So yeah, I need to often like remind myself that, and with that comes a lot as well. It comes with a lot of expectation. It comes with a lot of sacrifice. So when I need to make a decision, I think I deserve to prioritize this side of my life when I'm making decisions day to day, even saying yes and saying no to things. I need to remember that I am a professional athlete and I need to live it in every way.
Does now when you have a contract with Hoka, do they tell you on which races you have to go or you have free hands?
No, absolutely not. Yeah, you're totally free to do whatever you want. They incentivize certain races, podiums at certain races. So, you know, uh, it totally depends on how professional you want to take it, right? Like if you want this to be your career and you want to be a professional runner, you need to make more money off of this. And the way you do that is to go to the races that they incentivize. But absolutely, is there no pressure? No one's gonna like cut your contract if you don't do those races.
Is it like when you were second on Western States or in these big races, do you also get some prize money or no?
Yeah, so I wasn't with Hoka during Western States, so I was um I was with North
Still
Face
free.
at the time. Yeah,
Uh,
and yeah, but I was on a contract that didn't have incentives or race bonuses, so for me, I didn't get any sort of bonus. I was with Buff as well as an additional sponsor, and they had a pretty generous bonus, luckily, so I got something out of it. But uh, Western States, like I think when people go after that race, they're not necessarily thinking about a bonus. It's about what that race does for your career. And case in point with me right now, like if go run that race unattached, you will have all the opportunity in the world if you go and podium there. especially every year it's just getting more and more competitive and more eyes are on it. I think ultimately it's about viewership, and I think there's 500,000 viewers at the high watching the live stream on YouTube. And if you're wearing a brand's jersey when there's 500,000 eyes on you, that's incredibly valuable for the brand. So
Yeah,
yeah,
100%. I actually never thought
yeah.
that actually brands give some like prize money for different tournaments. I was always thought that like the Western State
Mm.
organizers or UTMB gives you money, but actually they're actually the brands. I never thought about that. Yeah,
Yeah,
interesting.
yeah. The brands incentivize it. Some race organizations do pay. UTMB has prize money as a race organization. Western States is a nonprofit, which ultimately keeps it, uh, way more in line with the community and embodies a lot of the values that ultimately like inspire people to go to ultra trail running. So the point there isn't really revenue. The point there isn't to necessarily need a purse to get pros to go. Pros will come to that race regardless, again, because it's what it does for your career. It's what it does for your memories also. Like that is the most special environment that really keeps you uh really keeps you connected with the community of ultra running. So I think like everyone in their life needs to run Western States at some point, and uh, I will spend, if the race like charged me, a few $1,000s to get into that race, like I would easily pay that to go do it without any expectation in return. So yeah.
Why do you think they made such a good reputation? Is it because of the people on the road? Is it because of the friendly people on the aid station? It's why? Why Western states? Why not some other race in state in America?
hmm Yeah, all the above. I mean, it is the oldest 100 miler, so there's history behind that. It's about to be 51 years old this upcoming year. People are attracted to that history. There's a lot of meaning behind the trail in general in terms of just the development of California and the gold rush. Like it used to be a big mining trail. It's a very aesthetic point to point. So it really has all the like trail elements going for it. And then like slowly and slowly, I don't know really the origin of when it became uh, more that like championship type style where every pro wants to go run that race, but that is what it is now. And the way that it's gotten so hard to get into and it's required so much blood, sweat, and tears to qualify in for from the golden ticket side. It's just so coveted and so prestigious. And to your point, like the community just shows up. Like I make an effort to go to Auburn ahead of time of every race, and I stay with I stay with a trail volunteer who is an absolute steward. So just seeing the work that goes into maintaining that trail and the work that goes into creating this race around this trail, and how so so connected all the residents and all the people of Auburn are to Western States. It's like a 365-day event for them. Like there is so much that goes on that even from the day after the race that goes into putting on the race a year later. So it's just special and everyone shows up. It's easy to spectate relatively to a lot of races. So, you have central city hubs nearby. So a lot of people make the trek up, and it's like, I don't know. I don't like using this analogy, but it really is like a Boston Marathon of ultra running where like people are lining the course everywhere they can. So you'll always have people cheering at you.